Welcome to Spurs Vision TV. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. Right, let's hope all you guys are good out there. Hope you guys had a good Christmas, Boxing Day. Right, the festive season is just begun. Right, we're going to the New Year's after this, so let's hope that we get a good result today. Right, but guys, being a Spurs fan, I don't want to say. I'm gonna say big up to Scotty. Yeah, big up Scotty. And after that, big up to Eva, man. Big up, big up. Hope you all are doing well, Eva. Hope all you're doing well. All right. Hope you had a good holidays in period and all that. What I'm gonna say now, right? That's all I'm gonna say now is at the moment, right? And of course, guys in the stadium at the moment, right? Yep, atmosphere in the stadium is great, right? All is going well. Let's hope things will turn out well for us today, guy. Let's hope you have a good time there too, guy. Hope you take enjoying yourself, right? And I know you told me certain things, right? But I know you want to win. I want to win too. But let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes, right? Before we start the game, the lineups are out, right? We know that Romero ain't in the squad because he's suspended for 3 games. Zavi's not there too because of the red cards that they got in previous games. What can I say? Right, Spurs is Spurs, right? We are as divided as possible can be. I mean, it's a never-ending story. Spurs fans are, never united. I think the only time we could have united is after winning the Europa League Cup, right, with Ange. And if he screwed up, we would all be united in sacking him. But now with Frank, now we got a division down. The Frank in, the Frank out, right, and the debate that goes on forever, right? But for my stance is that I don't give damn much about the managers. I just want to see the owners have ambitions, right? Bring in the proper players, build us up, right? And have standards, right? I want to win the league, right? So we have to go through this at the moment, right? It's suffering time, I know. But like I said, Frank is karma to us, right? It is what it is. And of course, Money, big up Money. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Yep, selamat. Yep, sama-sama. No, not in the market today. At home today, right? Because it's late. Usually there's not many people. I think I'm the only one in the Mama store doing it. So as well, maybe there are people today. I don't know. I'm just doing it at home because it's the game starts at 12:30 a.m. Malaysia. By the time it ends, it's gonna be about 2:30 a.m. Right? So rather be home now, right, and not be too tired out. Right? Hope you're going out for something to eat, right? Take care, and of course, Eva man. Yep, big up from Eva man. Yep. Apart from Spurs, I'm fine. Yeah, we're all like that at the moment. Apart from Spurs, we're fine. Right? And what can I say? The debate keeps going on, right? Whether Frank is the correct person, right? But I always been asking, will Frank bring us the Premier League? And I guess the answer is still no, right? And we still don't see it. And to tell the truth, right, I pray for Frank every day. I pray for him to at least make some changes, styles in playing the football, and at least the players show up consistently, right? It's been too many up and down games, and that ain't helping us at all, So, to tell the truth, I did the Liverpool game, watch along with guys in at Selhurst Park at the moment, right? Guys at Selhurst Park. Yep, guys at Selhurst Park, he's going to watch the game, so that's why he's not joining me today, right? So, what I can say is that the Liverpool game, here, guys explaining. Yeah, he's got free tickets to go. And he's sitting in the home end. He's not in the way end, so that's why, that's the secret. Right? Yeah. But, Guy and I, we were doing the show, right? The performances were better. Liverpool were terrible. But the thing is that even with 10 men, we looked like we were more threatening than Liverpool. And with 9 men, we even looked more threatening at that time. But all I can say is now is that it's Crystal Palace, right? It's another game. Selhurst Park has never been a happy hunting ground for us. So let's hope that we do turn up this game, put up a fight, put up a performance. I don't even want to look at whether we win or lose, right? To me, deep down, I think we'll draw, right? A draw will be a good result for us, right? To prove that, just as long as the performance is there, right? And I think if we caught Crystal Palace about a week ago, after they had to go through the Conference League and the League Cup, quarterfinals debacle, the amount of games they had to play, maybe we would have a chance. But now they've had more or less a week rest, more or less like what week time we had rest for. So it's going to be very difficult. But let's see how it goes. If to tell you, If our players turn up, we can put up a fight. If our players don't turn up, it's back to square one again. Why don't we go through the lineups, right, guys? As usual, we know that Romero ain't there, so Danso is fitted in. I think it's more or less the same team that played against Liverpool, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know, guys, right? Yeah. And Manny says that, Liverpool looks really bad this season, especially comparison to last season. They struggled, right, to hold on against them. Yeah. I watched more or less. I did watch the game, Manny, yesterday, right? And I was watching with a Liverpool fan, right? So I was just laughing at them. Wolves are dominating you guys. Even though Wolves lost, right, 2-1, but Wolves were more or less dominating Liverpool. So it is what it is. But don't laugh at other teams when our team is at this kind of juncture at the moment, right? Our team is this kind of juncture at the moment, right? Yeah, performance terrible. Yeah, I know. Yeah. All I can say now is that I want to focus on Spurs, right? Our midfield is, all right, okay, for you, even mine, players are coming out. For me, usually when I'm doing at home, I'm a bit slow. Most probably about 30 seconds to a minute slower. Right. So let's go through the lineups. Right. Vicario, Porro, VDV, Danso, Spence, Bergwall, Gray, and Bentancur. Right. Kudos, Richie, Moani. Right. We're playing a 4-2-3-1. Right. And Bergwall is dropped into, I think, in the number 10 position or something like that. Right. With Moani on the left and Kudos on the right, and Richie's playing up front. It looks quite good, right? It looks quite good because I thought Richie should have started against Liverpool. Right, because he's more or less our goal scorer, but we didn't. So that's a weird kind of line for in the Liverpool game. But this game, right, it looks good, right? And for me now, Eva, the players are walking out now, and on my television, we're going to the next round of breaks, right? The next round of breaks. Hopefully, by the time, by then, right, the game will be started. So more or less, I think I'm about a minute or two behind the guys who are faster than me, right, around the world, right? Because as you know, right, I'm in Malaysia, guys, right? And sometimes I can be faster than guys in London too, right? But any of you guys, right, hope to see a change today from performance, right? Commitment from the players. That's what we get at, right? And you can't blame it on fatigue or anything now because we more or less had a week's rest, right? 8 days or so, if I'm not mistaken about that, right? And there should be more training being implemented by Frank, right? Maybe his philosophy now will be understood by the players, and they don't look so, I hate saying this, they don't look so stupid when they're playing, right? At least they can make some passes, right? Some proper passes through for us to attack, right? And let's hope that our defense will be better too, right? Yeah, have a great one too. Guy says that, right? And of course, big up to the chats, right? The players are coming on. Yep, guys say players are coming on too. Some of the guys still slower than Evil Man. Seriously. I know, he's there live, bro. Right? You're there live. You can't be slower than Evil Man. Evil Man's in Hong Kong. Maybe they're lining up now. Right. And of course, Manny says that Aston Villa will be studying you guys, right, carefully in order to know how to learn to break Palace, Voodoo, Villa in a tighter charge. And Villa with Unai Emery, yeah, they look impressed. Yesterday against Chelsea, 1 goal down, coming back, right? They were really bad in the first half, to tell the truth, right? I watched the game. They were really bad in the first half. I wanted to say they were playing like Spurs, right? Giving the ball away, not focused, right? And some other Chelsea were dominating and they got a goal. But in the second half, after they made the changes, right, it was a totally change in that mentality of the players. They went out and they got the win. And that is kind of shit that we need to see at Spurs. But we ain't getting it. I don't know. Am I supposed to blame Frank? Or am I supposed not to blame Frank? Right, not being able to get a tune out of these players, because if we go into the in-depth, right, he was supposed to come and coach the players, make them better, blah blah blah. But no, we regressed. So yes, of course, we have lost quite a lot of our star players, if you can say it, right? We've lost Sonny, right? There's one side. We have got nobody on the left, right? And we don't create enough attempts. That's the sad part. We don't create enough attempts, right? Somehow or another, this season, we are just doing the horseshoe and back passes. That's all. We are not even creating enough attempts. So that is the sad part. Oh, they're wearing the same yellow jersey. Woohoo! But according to Guy, this jersey is cursed, right, Guy? If you're here, you're still listening, right? This yellow jersey is cursed. But I like it. I really like the color. Look at that. It's so nice. It matches the text down there. All right, guys. I think the game's gonna start soon, right? I think for Everman, yep, Everman is kicked off. I'm just going down to the countdown, the clock countdown now. All right. So come on, you Spurs, guys. Come on, you Spurs. Let's put out a good performance. All right. And Palace is going to kick off. And I've got kickoff. Yep. I've got kickoff. Yep. Come on, you Spurs. Everman says, come on, you Spurs. All right, guys. I got kickoff. Let's see what happens here. The ball goes all the way back. Henderson is going to take it out. The ball goes over the top. This is the festive fixtures, right? Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know. I feel quite weird, right? Not many football matches during Christmas. Like we used to have the Christmas Day games and all that, but it is what it is. Right? But we're going to play on the 1st of January, and here comes Palace coming through. Our defensive fall asleep again, but we cover. Moani's got it, and we get a throw. No, we get a goal kick. I think we got Archie Gray. Yeah, fast start from Crystal Palace. The ball comes down and good chest over. That's the kind of 1-2 touches. All right, the ball goes out to Archie Gray. Vicario, what's Vicario going to do now? Right. We're still going to play out from the back. Ball goes out wide. Goes out to Poro. No, sorry, goes out to Danso. You're going to miscount. Danso puts it over. Can't get it to Kudos. Ball set it out by the Palace player. Throw in for Spurs. Spurs goes down to Bergval. But we give the ball away. Let's see whether Danso can defend this well. Yep, Danso blocks the ball all the way out. Defended well. All right, the ball's been defended well. All right, guys, please don't forget, subscribe to the channel, give a like, right? And hit the notification bell if you can. Right, to remind you when I'm going on live. But nowadays I hardly ever go on live. Yeah, not much inspiration, too much work. Life takes over. All right, ball over the top. Vicario, he reaches Kudo. Kudo settles it down, but can't control it. All right. Okay, he puts the ball over the top. It goes up to VDV. VDV puts it all the way back to Vicario. Vicario goes out wide left to Spence. Spence goes back to VDV. VDV kicks it up. Ball goes all the way up to Kudos. Can Kudos get it? No. The ball goes out of play. No. The ball goes out of play, but it's a Spurs ball, but the referee wants the ball to be thrown at the proper place. So at the moment, Palace looks more attacking than us, right? But the thing is that can we build up? Can we build something up? Ball goes back to Bergval. Bergval goes Poro. Poro goes all the way wide out here left to VDV. Sorry, to Spence. Spence. Yeah, gives Moani controls the ball but slips backwards. No. Moani, yeah. We need Moani to score some goals. I need Moani to put some goals in. Right. But while we're pressing, ball hit it back out. All right. Ball goes down to Bergval falls over. Bergval's falling over too much nowadays. He needs to. Okay. Spence gets the ball, goes on to Bergval. Bergval gives it to Spence on the right left. What's Spence doing on the right now? And of course, Palace gets the free kick. Because Bergval's tugging on way here. Yep, Sellers Park is rocking at the moment. Let's see what's anything here. Oh, Manny wants the link. Okay, Manny. Let me send you the link. Just hold on. Just hold on, Manny. Let me send you the link. Yeah, Manny was open for a while in the shop out time. Yeah. Please send Manny the link. Okay, Manny, the link sent to you. All right, sorry, because sometimes when I'm doing this, the phone is being used as, get some more viewers on. All right, now, Palace still got the ball. Palace got the ball. They're playing around from the back. Goes over. Ball comes over. Good touch by Palace and a good through ball in the middle. And it's a free kick. It's a yellow. Jet Spence. Okay. It's all right. What happened here now? Let's have a look. The ball comes in. Look at them. The through ball that goes through. Right. Danso. It's clipped by Danso, but why is there a yellow card? He didn't even touch him. Why is it a yellow card? He didn't even touch him. He tripped over the ball. He tripped over the ball. Why? Referee, sorry, hope you. What is he trying to say? Deny it? Nah. It's a yellow. Well, it wasn't even a yellow card, right? But come on. Nah. But it is what it is, right? So another right Spurs fans are saying so nowadays, the referee is in it for us. So it is what it is. The referee has always been in it for us for all this while, so it's nothing else different. All right. Big up. Yeah. From football. Let me see. I can't read this too small for me. Yeah. Yeah. Football and nerdy. Oh, football and nerdy. All right, football and nerdy. Newcastle have been poor, but we're only 6 points off Champions League place. Yeah, this season's been crazy. Oh, yes. Newcastle is Newcastle. All right. I think 1 or 2 points just behind you guys too. So yeah, it is what it is. This has been a topsy-turvy kind of season for fourth downwards, right? You're looking at Aston Villa is in third, right? Liverpool is out of it, and Manchester United has always been like that. And the ball is put low, slow, try to slide it in. Now we defended well, right? And Kudos steals the ball. Come on, move faster. Kudos brings it in. Come on, pass it, Kudos, pass it. Yes, Kudos, pass it. Archie Gray hoops it over top. A bit too deep. Right. Oh, Robert. I pick up Robert. Oh, doing well. Yeah. I know you guys are having a hard time too, right? So, yeah, we are suffering too. Yeah, I guess. But our squad is shit, and our manager is half there too. So, and we're being counter-attacked now. Being counter-attacked. Yeah, it's Robert from Reckless. Yes, Robert. Change my name and start doing this shots. So, start doing small shots. Let's go, Robert. Let me know what's your channel, right? Then most probably give it a sub. Right, give it a sub. All right, send it to me in the WhatsApp later. I'll do that. All right, and can Richarlison hold on to the ball? And Richarlison has been bundled over. And Spurs gets a free kick. Pino, number 6 is Pino. I thought number 6 is Guehi. Somehow or another they sandwiched Richarlison, and we get a throw in, not even a free kick. It's a throw in, guys. No free kick. All right. And Porro throw the ball faster. Bergwall, Porro back, and the ball's and another throw in. Another throw in here. And we're too slow in these type of scenarios, right? Teams can just reset themselves. Ball is thrown long. And Kudos try to play oversight onto the we lose the ball again. But somehow another ball hit the back. No. Teta controls the ball well. And no, we get a free kick. We get a free kick, guys. We get a free kick. Right. Mateta is good, man. He's holding up the ball well. He turns well. First touch, and then he tries to pass it, but it was blocked by BDV. I think there'll be an offside kind of decision there, but BDV gets the ball back, and I think Danso's been pulled over or something like that. So now we get a free kick, and Kudos has got some kind of back issue there. Come on, Kudos, don't get injured, right? We really lack of players now. Ball over the top by Vicario, headed back by the, and can we get the ball back? No. Yep, the ball comes back to Spurs over VDV to Spence to Moani. Moani tried to back heel, but doesn't reach Spence. Moani's running back to try to get the ball. No, the ball goes all the way out to the left for Palace. But Kudos steals the ball back. Ball goes there. Kudos, Bergval loses the ball. Again, the story of us losing the ball, and the ball is deflected. Luckily, we are lucky Mateta didn't control the ball well. But somehow or another, the tempo is hectic, right? But accuracy and the speed is, the ball is not sticking, right? And Crystal Palace been looking the more dangerous at the moment. We still haven't been able to create anything solid. And we keep going backwards. All the way back to Vicario. Vicario gives it out to VDV. VDV, what can VDV do it? Come on, what can VDV over the top. Can it find Kudos? Good ball to Kudos here. Kudos controls well. Goes out to Bergval. What can Bergval do here? Bergval just falls over and the ball rolls out. So frustrating. Still frustrating, guys, but it is what it is, right? Being a Spurs fan, watching Spurs players play, we know our players are not that as good as we think they are. I know that we've lost a lot of our star players, right? But they aren't that bad, right? They can do better, right? That's what I'm saying, right? We can do better. Henderson, ball over the top. Can Matata hold it? No. We hit it back. Archie Gray puts it. No. Kudos tries to get it. At least we're pressing quite well now. Right? We're pressing. Oh, nearly lost the ball. Henderson. Henderson, yeah. Ball goes on to the left, and we steal the ball back. Goes all the way back to Benny. Goes better than so. We slow the game down again. You see, we are so prone to this slowing the game down. It's like we don't know what we're doing. And VDV gets the ball, and VDV loses the ball. Just two people pressing. Come on, come on. Okay. Wharton going in. Here comes Palace again. And turns around. Wharton goes through. Ball's out. And the ball is touched. Hughes. Shot. Another shot. The ball is deflected. And he's offside. He's offside. Of course the flag goes up. Well, so clear he's offside, bro. Right? So clear he's offside. The ball comes in. The ball is blocked by Bentancur, but there's no control there. And the ball floats over. Mateta is way offside. Yeah, way offside, way offside. All right, Vicario, what are you going to do now? Ball over the top. Play out from the back. No, ball over the top again. Goes all the way to Moani on this side. No, Moani misses, but the ball goes all the way to Richarlison. Richarlison gives it to Moani. Moani can't control the ball. Lose the ball again. That's the story of Spurs. We keep losing the ball. And the ball is, here comes Palace again. Palace looks more fluid in the attack. Palace are putting in the passes. We keep losing. This is just the repeat of every game we see from Spurs since, I don't know, the third game of the season, right? Why can't we play like in the first 3 games of the season? What was Frank's manager bounce only 3 games? After that, we become shit, right? And why the players are regressing like that, I can't understand. But now, Palace of control, we're sitting back, right? They're just playing back and forth out. They're trying to figure a way to break us down. Anderson gets the ball. He's playing out from the back. It's on their right hand side now. They play it back to the center. Goes all the way out to the left. for Palace. Palace going backwards, forwards. Now the ball goes down to Wharton. Wharton up. He passes it out back to the left. And they got it down the wings now. Spencer's gone over the cover with Moani. Right, Moani is sitting back so far deep. Right, we are basically just low blocking Palace now. Guys, we are low blocking Palace now. Right, the ball goes all the way here. Luckily, Spence stops it. And the ball goes up for throw-in for Palace. Will there be a long throw from Palace here now? Yeah, I guess there's going to be a long throw from Palace here. My God, such a sad statement. Spurs are happy to get out of this 15 minutes unscathed. Sad kind of statement coming out. All right, the ball's thrown in well. Hit it out. Nope, hit it back. Nope. Kudos. Yeah. Only thing Kudos could do is to clear the ball, and there was no one up there. All the Spurs players were in their own box defending. What the F are we doing? Don't we know how to attack anymore? Do we have to defend with 11 players behind the ball? What the hell is wrong with us? That's not good signs, right? You have to leave at least one player up, right? So at least it draws off some players. Where's the tactic to that? The ball is given away. Goes back to Gray. Gray goes back to VDV. VDV misplaces again. We can't play through balls. Why can't we play through balls? Do our players need glasses, right? Put on some contact lenses in them and let them play. Okay, the ball over the top. Does it reach? No. And Kudos gets the ball now. Kudos gives it out to Bergval. Bergval gives it back to Kudos. Kudos, back Bergval. Bergval, and the ball's... Oh, and we score! 1-0, Richie. Oh, but VAR, guys, VAR. Don't celebrate yet. Don't celebrate yet. Even man should know, right? Somehow or another, the one thing about Spurs is, right, we don't create many attempts, but when we do create attempts, usually it ends up in a goal. That's one of our, yeah, it's going to VAR. Oh, yeah, it's going to VAR now. All right. Oh, whether Bergval is in offside position. Ball comes back. And now it's Richie, whether Richie's offside. Ball from Pedro Porro. I think it's offside, guys. Bergval is offside. No, I ain't gonna count. Offside, right? Even man. Offside. VAR. I told you guys, don't celebrate. It's not gonna count. It's offside. Bergval is offside. No goal. Yeah. I told you that's why nowadays I don't celebrate too quickly, right? Unless it's a clear goal, because Bergval did look offside. Then after that, Richie looked offside. So no goal. Yeah, but we got it in the behind the net. Yeah. Bergval was offside. Don't have to check whether Richarlison is offside or not. Yeah, he's offside. Yeah, Thomas Frank is offside. Bergval is offside. He wasn't that fine too. He was clear offside. We can see with our own eye. He was way offside. Against the butt. Good. You can't even fight against his butt. Yeah, he's offside. Ball comes over the top. Right. Vicario gets it. Spurs get better call. Yeah, Eva. Yeah, no goal. Yeah, and that's not gonna put up on the VAR, but let's see how it goes, right? If we can get that, we can do that again. We need to repeat it, right? The ball comes out. Now it comes out to Spence. Now I think it puts a bit of fear into the Palace players, right? That means we can put the ball behind the net, right? So they should know, they're lucky that it was offside. So now, at least Palace now, we've got control of the ball now. Palace is not that gung-ho against us now, right? Ball goes over the top again. Does it reach? Yes, Richarlison. Come on, Richie! Uh, Richie, I think. Now, we know that he never gets that correct, right? When the ball comes in for him, right? Right, look at that. The first touch is so bad. We should have just shot. Right, the ball drops. Shoot. Uh, bad touch from Richie again. Right, Richie can't control the ball as usual. Right, can't hold on to the ball, and that's what's happened. It is what it is, guys. But we do look a bit more threatening. But we look more like a Sean Dyche, Stan Allardyce kind of threatening. Sean Dyche. And here comes, and Mateta gets the ball, and we get the ball out. Ball comes back. Mateta shoots. Oh, and it goes through the. Oh, and it just veers wide. Right, they got a shot on. So now the game is going back to the normal, and Denso loses the ball. Teta, we're just getting bullied a bit. But Teta is bullying Kevin Danso, yeah. Teta is really bullying Danso. But see how it goes, right? Ball goes over top again, and Richie reaches the goalkeeper. Too much on it, reaches the goalkeeper. Now Alice gets the ball back. Henderson pulls it, rolls it out. Ball, can we get the ball? Yes. No, we can't get the ball. No, nobody over. BDB gets the ball. We'll go all the way back to Vicario. Vicario goes out to Danso. Danso most probably will go wide. No, Danso will go back to BDB. BDB to Danso again. Right. Danso goes out to Poro. Poro puts it over. Kudos loses the ball. And here comes Palace again. And we get the ball back. Kudos gives it to Archie Gray. Gray Moani. Moani so far deep in our own half. All right, the ball goes to Gray, but Gray loses the ball. And Gray holds on to his player. And Gray gets a yellow card. Guys, on the bench, we've got Takai and Draguz in his back, right? Why doesn't he hell goes into a back three, right? Since we've got more defenders back now. Gray against Water. Yeah. Gray, yeah, still looks raw. But, it's like we got no choice now. All right. The academy talents have been let off onto loan, and we are stuck with Gray. All right. Okay, Walton is going to have the free kick. And here it goes now, guys. Ball comes in, over the top, and straight to the goalkeeper. Right. Vicario runs out. What can Vicario do? Vicario slows down, and he rolls it out to VDV. VDV goes out to Jet Spence. What can Spence do now? Yep, Spence run with the ball. He's running through into the midfield now. And we still can't we still can't put that through ball. We have not. So we practice that? The 10-5-yard passes? Here comes Palace again. All right, guys, at least we hold on to about the 25th minute, right? Unscathed. Another statement, we're going to say that, right? But Palace has more, I think, more possession. Looks more dangerous at the moment, right? And they do have their some of the Moses moment, right? Ball comes out to Moani. What can Moani do? And Moani gives the ball away again. Why do players come to Spurs and have this give the ball away disease, right? And Pino tries to shoot and goes all over the top. Jeremy. All right. That's a nice name. Jeremy. Y-E-R-E-M-Y. Jeremy. Okay. Give the ball away again. Bugwell's offside. And then after that, Richarlison will be offside. It's good. Yeah, Richarlison was offside, but let's see how it goes. But, Bugwell's offside. Richarlison might not have been offside, because the butt might have covered him. And the ball goes through the Kudos is now gone to the center of the game. Spence back to Archie Gray. Gray to Benny. Benny to VDB. We keep going backwards again. And then Palace can regroup back to their defensive stance. Ball over the top. Burkwell can't get to it. The ball rolls out of play. Ball rolls out of play. It is what it is, guys. Right? Palace are dominating, looking more dangerous. But we put the ball into the net, right? Albeit it's offside. Right? So the only thing is that we have not created many chances either. So, yeah. But Palace haven't created many chances either. So it is what it is. Right? The ball goes back. And the ball goes to VDV. It goes all the way back. Then so back to Vicario. Vicario goes to VDV. Possession is about 55-45. Moani loses the ball. And gives away the free kick. Oh, okay. Spence. Hold on. Moani is holding on to his face again. Moani's got his jaw problem. Right? Moani's got his jaw problem kind of scenario. Ball comes in. Oh, the knee. The knee hits Moani in the face. Nothing much to it. Yeah. Not sinister, but, All right, guys. They want to take a fast free kick, but no, we delayed it. Now they've got a set piece. So let's see what can Crystal Palace do. So let's see how we defend this. The ball goes back. There's a weird kind of scenario going there again. The ball goes over the top this time. The ball hit back. And the ball. Good movement from Palace. Good movement. Oh, one-touch football. All right, look at that. They play it back to left-hand side. The ball comes over the top. And I think number 5 is offside, right? No, I don't think so. He ran through. He hits it back. And Mateta, Palace are looking threatening. He hits his shoulder, I think. All right, we put the ball over the top again. Hit it back by Palace. The ball goes out of play. Spurs gets a throw in. Goes all the way back to Danso to Vicario. Vicario hoops it over the top. Oh, we lose the ball again. Can we get the ball? No. Still losing the ball. Are we pressing? We're not pressing half enough. I don't know what kind of press are we having here, right? This press is a bit soft, right? It's not all the way kind of a press. So it gives, I don't know, we're being found out. And somehow or another, we don't know how to pass the ball. And are we allergic to the ball or something like that? Right? We got balls allergy. Ball comes in and it's headed and it's straight to. Yep. Palace are coming for us now, right? They are going all the way out and we've been pushed and we've been pressured, right? So, yeah, it doesn't look nice. It is what it is, right? It goes over, the ball is headed, but luckily, Vicario is there and Denso didn't interfere. I think most of Vicario said, let go, right? Let it go in a frozen kind of way. All right, ball goes all the way up to Denso on the right. Ball, Denso puts it over. Nope, the ball is taken over. And we lose the ball again, guys. We lose the ball again. We can't keep possession of the ball, right? Look at that. Come on, Denso. No, kudos to Poro. And here we go. Here comes Denso. Where is the support? Where is the support? And Kudos carries the ball too far, and we can't. We haven't caught the ball long enough. We can't find a rhythm in the game. We have, I think, apart from that offside goal kind of shit, we haven't created shit at all. All right. I know maybe Guy's right? The yellow kid is cursed, but it's nice, right? The yellow kid, I like it too. Right. We get the ball. Right. Here comes Palace. Palace loses the ball. Moani's control is bad. And the Palace player is down. Then he's Palace player is down. This is a head injury. Oh. Slight elbow into the face. Yidami, the away fans are shouting Yidami. I don't know where the guy can shout it. He's in the home end. Let's hope the guys have a good show, have a good time. All right, he's got friends out there. All right. I think Nishas from Kolomwani. All right. There's injury time coming in. I think that most probably be about 3 to 5 minutes injury time for this. Right. So Glasner, right? Giving instructions, translation. All right. Substitute goalkeeper, I think Walter Benitez being a translator, right? The question is, does he get extra pay for that? All right, Lerman's coming back on. Spurs got the ball. Goes all the way back to Spence. Spence goes back to Benny. Benny goes out to Poro. Poro goes back to Danso. Danso goes back to VDV. All right. VDV goes out to Spence. Spence goes out to Moani. Moani tries to play a way out, but Spence gets the ball, pushes it back to Benny. Benny goes to Moani. Moani gives it to, we go backwards. Come on, guys, find a way to penetrate, get through. The only problem, you can't do this 5-yard, 10 yards passes. And here comes Benny. Benton call. Can Kudos put a cross in? No, it goes back out to Poro. But we go backwards again. We press backwards again. Goes all the way back to Danso. Danso back to VDB. VDB goes all the way back to fucking Vicario. Come on. What are we doing here? Ball over the top. No. Hughes gets the ball for Palace. Palace gets back control of the ball. We can't hold the ball for 3 minutes, guys. The ball goes over Palace. And it's blocked by Danso. And here comes Palace. Bergvall steals the ball. Over the top. Over the top again. Can he reach Richarlison? Can Richarlison control it? No. Richarlison can't hold the ball for shit, right? We've been saying that for some time now. All right. Palace gets back control of the ball. All the way on top. Comes up to the left. Sorry, on the right. Ball goes down. Walton tries to put it in. Ball's headed up by Spurs. In the back. BDV. BDV hits it out to Spence. What can Spence do here? And Spence gives it out. And Walton takes a shot. That is type of bozo moments that we keep doing. Why are players regressing in intelligence in football. Look at that. He gives the ball away. Oh, don't know what to say anymore. All right. Vicario goes out of Denso. Denso gives her kudos. Kudos goes out of Poro. Poro runs through. Goes back to Kudos. What can Kudos do? Kudos being triple marked. Look at that. Fresh all the way back. And then being bundled over. And so over the top. No, but doesn't reach Poro or Benton Core. And VDV. VDV goes out of Spence. Spence tries. Can't get the ball through again. Spence controls the ball. No. No. And VDV gets the ball back. Goes out to Spence again. Come on, Spence. Put it out. Yeah. Here comes Richarlison. Oh, now we get a chance to have a long throw in. Right. Kudos couldn't get the ball to Richie. That's all I can say. All right. All right, then so long throw. Woohoo! Come on. Get something from this. And I think nothing's gonna happen because if we have scored, Eva Man would have said, woohoo! But Eva, let me know if anything happens. I guess no. Denso goes short. Goes back to Denso. All right. And the ball is shot. Oh, Poro. Poro tries to take a long shot, but I don't know whether you can say that's an attempt or not, but it could be construed as an attempt, right? But Jonathan is warming up around, right? He's been linked to Palace, right? But will Palace pay the money that Spurs won? Can we get 40 million for him? I'll sell him 40 million, but will Palace be able to pay 40 million for him? But it depends on whether Mateta moves, right? If Mateta moves off, right? They might get some money there for Johnson. Ball goes over the top. Controlled by Mateta, well controlled. We get the ball back. Archie Gray puts it all the way back. Poro is hook it over the top. It goes all the way up to Richarlison. No, the ball's hit it back. Right, but no. We've got this kind of semi-soft kind of press thing, right? And we need to be more. It's not a one man-to-man kind of scenario, and Palace has got places to run into. Look at that. Spence has given space out on the right. Spence does well. We get a no. They go okay. Pino couldn't cut the ball back in. All right, guys, we made it up to the 38th minute now. Right, it's still 0-0. Do you think it's a good score now? What do you think about the Spurs' performance? I think we are still meh. We can't create chances, right? We are sitting in a low block kind of scenario. We're defending with 11 men in the box, and there's no outlet for us to counter attack. There is no frigging outlet for us to counter attack, right? Ball over the top. No, the ball is headed back. Goes back to VDV. VDV goes out Spence. Spence controls it. Does he go up? No. Spence controls it. And of course, we get a throw in. Look at that. We got two Spurs players there. They got four Palace players inside there. We've been outnumbered, right? Just in the throw in. And we're taking too much time. We're too slow. We're not moving. What is Spence doing? Come on. Spence is trying to run out. Throws the ball all the way, but not reaches a Palace player. Palace get back control of the ball. Bentancur tries to control it. Bentancur controls it. The ball rolls out. Oh, we give the ball away again. We give the ball away too easily, and it's headed off. And Spence holds on to the ball. All right, ball goes to Bentancur. Bentancur goes out to Bergvall. Oh, we still can't put that through ball, right? We can't put a true ball. And we lose the ball. Yeah, even man. Yeah, Eva says no goal, and then Eva says we can't control the ball, all right, and pass it. Yeah, Eva, we've been saying this for so long, right, Eva? Right? I mean, I don't want to go back about and shit, but somehow or another we have regressed in basic passing, and Palace moves so quick, from back to front, and we are so slow in the transition. We can't transition. We can't counter attack. Our defense is shaky, and we don't create chances. Right? We don't create chances at all. All right, the ball set at top. Ball, Moani controls. Moani gets through. Moani, shoot Moani! Handball. Moani's calling for a handball. Let's see how it goes, right? Was it in his natural position? Let's see. It's going to be checked. Ball set it down. Moani controls. All right. Goes to the ground. Hits his feet first. Yeah. Goes between his feet, right? Breaking his fall. So I don't think there's no penalty for that. I wouldn't give a penalty for that, right? Yeah. The arm is, it's a corner. Spurs gets the first corner. Woo! And Spurs get the first goal. Woo! Even mine will know. Oh! All right, let's see what happens here, right? Come on, you Spurs! Come on, you Spurs! No VAR, right, Eva? Please, no VAR. Come on, you Spurs! All right, Porro. Here comes the corner from Porro. And it's headed back. And it's headed in by Archie Gray. Archie Gray celebrating his first goal. Guys, Eva, tell me, there is no VAR. Please, because it looks like there is VAR again, right? All right, come on, we've got one. But I'm going to change the score line yet, right? All right, let's see. Was it flicked on by Bergvall? All right, let me see. The ball comes in. Any VAR? Any VAR? Headed back. All right, there's no VAR. All right, it's our goal. It's our goal, right? Look at that. All right, guys. There is no VAR, guys. Where is this? Let me edit this. Hi. Edit it. Spurs 1. Spurs 1. All right. Let me get this out now. Tough first half for Spurs, but we're up 1-0. But let's hope that we can maintain this. Yep, Gray. Gray's got it. Yep, Gray. Look at that. Guy is laughing. Gray's got the goal. Lubo is going to be ecstatic, right? Guy, Lubo is most probably in the stadium too, right? He goes to away games. But now we got to defend, right? Now we got to get hold of the game, right? And not give the freaking ball away like that. Come on. Oh. To tell you, right? Even 1-0 up, right? I'm not confident because we still have all these bozo moments in us, right? Right? We're having too many bozo moments in us. It's either we are up 2-3-0, then I'll be more comfortable. At the moment, I hell ain't comfortable about this. Bergvall steals the ball. Bergvall is strong. Bergvall is running out. The ball goes on Richarlison. Richarlison goes all the way Kudos. Okay, let's see what can we Spurs do now. Right? He goes on to Bergvall. Right? Do we get another one? Hope we can keep it up, Eva. So do I, right? Hope we can keep it up. Right? But the problem is that we know we're Spurs, right? We have this tendency of being bozos, right? So we need more than a goal. We need at least 2 or 3 goals to be comfortable. That's what I've been saying, right? 2 or 3 goals to be comfortable, right? So let's hope we can hold on to this. The result will be great. Kudos steals the ball back. Kudos is holding on to the ball, and Kudos is fouled. right? I guess now it's time to waste time. Time to waste time. That's a nice one. Time to waste time. Woohoo! Woohoo! All right. Archie Gray, right? Okay, most probably in second half. Ball over the top. Can Richarlison get it? No. Headed back by Gray. No. Lose possession again. Ball's headed back out by. And the ball goes out of play. 4 minutes at a time. Yes, Eva. Right. I told you between 3 to 4, right? 4 minutes at a time. Right. Hold on until halftime, Frank. Right. Tell the boys to friggin' hold on until halftime. Focus. Right. Be smart. Right. Use your brain and hang on to it. Right. And then in the second half, go back and set up a plan. Right. To get at least 1 or 2 more goals. That's what we need. 1 or 2 more goals. Right. Like I said, we don't create many chances, but whenever we get our chance to create, we are very clinical, right? So I guess it is what it is at the moment. We're up 1-0. I don't care what you say, right? We will be able to hang on until halftime whistle. But of course now, hold on. Let me add Mani to the stage. Yeah, Mani's back onto the stage. Hey, we got Mani. Ball over the top. Can you hear me, Mani? Palace still has no control and the ball is short, it's blocked. Can't hear you, Mani. Can you hear me? No, still can't hear you. And we get the ball. Wani gets the ball back to, okay, come back in. And Spence loses the ball. Walton puts the ball in. No. No one's getting to that. Spurs are holding on. Spurs are holding on. Let's see when Mani's coming back. And with the eye test, right, Palace were the better team. They had more possession, right? They were more attacking, more looking more dangerous. And somehow or another, we come back a goal, right? And it's not the first time we got the ball in the net. It's the second time, right? All right, let's see. Mani can come back on. Can you hear me, Mani? Yeah, Mani, I'm not sure whether you can hear me. I can't hear you. I don't know why. Guys, let me know. Can you guys hear Mani? Is it my problem or Mani? I don't see his mic, the light coming on. Right, the ball goes over the top again. You give the ball away again. Right, the ball is given away again. He was supposed to go all the way to the left. The ball is first time in. Right, and we give the ball away again. Okay, we get the ball. And here we come again. Oh, Hughes going to get a yellow card for this. All right, Hughes gets a yellow card for this. All right, let me one more time, Mani. Test your mic, Mani. Hold on. Can you hear me now, Mani?
Okay, should be fine now. Should be fine now.
All right, welcome. Right, long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Merry Christmas. Hope you enjoy your holidays.
Yeah,
Mani,
Christmas was okay. Yeah, Christmas was okay. I've actually got the game on right now. I don't know how many minutes to stop, which time we're at it, but I think it's fair to say,
4 minutes.
that. Go ahead, sir.
4 minutes at a time, and the game is going to end quite soon, right? In the first half. But if you're watching the game, right? Palace were dominating, right?
Yeah, they were, and now people understand that the best way to sort of get at Crystal Palace is just allow them to dominate and then hit them on the counter, which is what Aston Villa did to Chelsea yesterday, and which is what you're doing right now. And
yeah, but
I think it's also fair to say. I think it's also fair to say that in recent times, Palace have actually been, I wouldn't say found out necessarily, but they've suffered under the weight of all of the games they've had to play, and they were.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
They were in some ways unlucky to have exited the League Cup at our expense on penalties. I thought, Walter Benitez, the replacement goalkeeper for Crystal Palace, had a fine game for them. And, once again, we've earned a new nickname, Own Goal FC. If Set Piece FC wasn't bad enough, we're now Own Goal FC. It's disgusting.
I thought we had that. Wait. I thought we had that title.
Own Goal FC?
Yeah, Own Goal FC belongs to us, right? In the beginning of the season. All right, guys, it's halftime.
It's cyclical.
Halftime, right? Typical, right? Being competitors, right? In every way, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's cyclical. It's typical and cyclical, if you can hear me clearly now. And once again, my ridiculous headphone set was playing, tricks on me. And obviously, guys in the chat. And I think he's enjoying what he's seeing.
Yeah. Guy says, I'm going to grab a drink, right? And it's freezing. Oh my God. Yeah, you guys are in London. Yeah, it should be freezing now. Right? It's winter time there. Winter is here. Right? But the good thing is that we are leading 1-0. And I don't know how to explain this, right? So, look at that. I'm having and then, okay. It was headed by Richie. And then Archie Gray hits it in. All right. Big up, you guys, right? Big up, right? Please subscribe, like, and of course hit the notification bell, right? If you're not subscribed, right? And guys commenting straight from the stadium, right? So far, ain't got much to say, right? To be honest, we scored, kept a halftime lead. Yeah, that's a good thing. Right? If we keep losing aerial duels, that's the thing. Right, I think. Well, let me see, guys. See what's more doing. I think Palace has way more possession. Yeah, Palace has way more possession. We know that, right? But somehow or another, they showed the possession. It was 55-45, but I think it was more like 65-35. Right?
Yeah, there was actually a time, mind you. I remember seeing a graphic where they had 7 shots, including 2 or 3 on target, while you hadn't registered any. You obviously did have the ball in the net through with Richarlison, but that was rightly chalked off for offside. I remember when I saw that goal, my first instinct was Richie's off. It's not out. And VAR.
My first instinct was that Bergwijn was off, and then it was correct, right? Because that ball that came in. But what I'm saying is that I don't even know how many attempts on goal that we've had, Manny. I don't think even 1 or 2, right? Apart from putting the ball in the net, which was offside, and apart from the goal. You get what I'm saying? Right? So there's a weird stat for Spurs is that, right? For this type of scenario, our XG is shit. You know what I'm saying? But our XG conversion, I think, is one of the highest in the league at the moment.
One of the highest, but not as high as Aston Villa.
Yeah, not as high as Villa. One of the highest, right? Not as high as Aston Villa. Right? But somehow or another, we are there. We are up 1-0. The most important thing is to maintain it, right? And guys got this to say too, right? Also, the ref loves to give us cards, yeah. Don't usually dunk on refs, right? But I don't think any of them were yellows, right? That's what I said, yeah. What the replay says, that's true. I think, there were 1 or 2 yellow cards, that we don't deserve, but it is what it is. I did say while I was alive, right? But most important thing is the scoreline now. We're 1-0 up. Manny, do you think we can actually maintain this? Or do you think we can actually go out and get 1 more? I need to get 1 or 2 more to be confident, because the way Palace has been playing, right? They've been dominating, they've been creating more chances. That is my fear.
Yeah, here's the thing. One of the things which has happened to Crystal Palace of late, as I was talking about not long after I came in, was that they're starting to feel the effects of the heavy schedule. If it's not playing in the Conference League, they also have to play in the League Cup. Of course, they're now out of the League Cup, and the worst part about the Conference League is that I think they will have to have a 2-legged playoff to see if they go through to the knockout stages. Now, that is, of course, unlike Aston Villa and Arsenal and a few other teams who should be sailing through to the knockouts of their respective tournaments. I think Spurs also should, if you win your remaining games. I think you've got German opposition in your final 2 games, don't you?
Yeah, we got Dortmund, then after that Frankfurt, right? So
yes, exactly. Dortmund,
revenge. Dortmund is Dortmund, right? We have our history with Dortmund, right? But the point is, I'm afraid of Frankfurt, because Frankfurt's got this revenge mentality coming back to us, because we knocked them out in the quarterfinals or the semifinals. Sorry, quarterfinals of
quarterfinals. I remember that quarterfinals. Yes.
Yeah, in the League Cup, right? we burned off that game away, right? And we won 1-0 in the end. So yeah, guy says that we need one more. Yeah, it's been our goal. Yeah, true. Right, and of course, guys, says big up to you, man. Big up,
Yeah.
right?
And so that's the thing. Like as I was saying about Palace, they're starting to feel the strains, and obviously there's a lot of uncertainty about, whether certain players are going to stay. We all know that Glasner's going to be off at the end of the season, and we don't know where he's going. If you guys decide to give Thomas Frank his P45, I suggest you go in for Glasner immediately and let him do things his way. He's a brilliant coach, and I would chop off my right arm to have him at Arsenal. I mean, I'm left-handed, so I can afford to do that. But the uncertainty about certain, but the uncertainty about certain players, their futures, is not really helping, and it's a difficult time now at Palace, really. And they're starting to feel the strain. So now it's a bit of a good time to play them. And you're also doing the right thing by, as I've said, just sitting back, letting them dominate, letting them get tired, and then you hit them on the counter. And that's exactly what Aston Villa did to Chelsea. Of course, if you saw the game last night, which I did, I think I missed the first 15 minutes of the game, but then saw the rest of it. Chelsea were ripping Villa apart into ribbons.
I watched the whole game, Manny. Chelsea, in the first half, they dominated. Big up to Joe, right? Joe, big up. Reckless family. Hope you guys are doing well. Sorry, can't join you guys on KG's show, right? Because the timing is so bad. Let's wait until the daylight saving time kicks in again, then I'll be back on again, right? Right. And of course, Guy says, big up to Joe, right? Man, right? Big up, right? Okay, first thing we know, Palace has got a very small squad. That's why, like what you're saying, right? This is slowly showing on it, right? Because of the League Cup game, I think they had to play two teams, right? One team against Coops, right? And then another team against the Leeds game, for the Leeds game, right? They had to play a completely changed lineup, and then they had to play you guys in that quarterfinals. So all I can say now, right, is the way it's going, right, it's a very weird scenario for being a Spurs fan. You know, we're so used to the flair and the counter-attacking, but now we're just sitting back and absorbing, right? And most of the time, right, we can't counter-attack too. You get what I'm saying? So the goal that came from a corner. Okay, so all I can say is that let's hope we can hang on and get through this. You get what I'm saying? All right.
Yeah, I understand, but listen, but here's the thing: you also did have the ball in the net. Remember when you were talking about how Bergwall was also offside? He was offside, but Richie also was slightly offside. So, you know what's happening right now is that Palace are not their usual compact selves, and they're not quite able to effectively pack the midfield the way they normally do, playing their formation. So there are spaces to exploit, and I have to compliment the likes of Jed Spence and a few others who are finding those spaces, finding those passes, and getting everything through. I think Kudus is also, having a really good game down on the right. Normally, Tyreek Mitchell would be very efficient, but so far he's not really had things his own way. He did have a shot which got blocked. But, there's also a part of me that thinks that with Romero absent, through suspension, of course, and forced, you don't really have any of those ridiculous madcap, hot-blooded moments from him. What he did against Liverpool was absolutely unforgivable, and I think there should be a chat about whether or not the captaincy shouldn't be given to Mickey, at least until the end of the season, and then you talk about moving on.
That is part of his game and his passion here. If you take it out of him, Romero will be a totally different player, right? But one guy says that, right? The atmosphere in the stadium is edgy, and Guy is sitting in the home end. You know, and he's a Spurs fan. I don't know whether he's wearing the jersey in the home end. So hope you.
Obviously. Listen, Guy, let me know the flavor of that pie, and I hope you enjoy it. But don't eat it too quickly. If you don't enjoy it, it's not going to taste very good, and it'll make you feel even worse. Yeah. And that's the thing. Obviously, being a Spurs fan, you remember all the RG legends who played for you. Ardiles, Villa. Maybe there are one or two others I might have missed. But even then, what I'm saying is that without Romero, I think what Van der Ven brings, obviously, is a level of calm leadership right now to that back line, which probably has not been there for quite some time. And it's also helping that you are having a few players coming back from injury. I saw that Dragason's on the bench. I don't think he's going to be forced back in unless, maybe one of them need a rest. But you know, maybe over January, what you might want to try and do is assess which members of your squad are worth keeping until the end and which aren't. And then you are going to have to make some tough decisions. And there's a lot of talk on the BBC Sport website through the the people who are sort of writing in, saying that Frank has got to be given the confidence to stay until the end of the season and beyond. Just get rid of a few of the players. The only problem is there are a lot of people, shout out to the Spurs analyst, by the way, who are still very angry with Frank for a lot of the things that he said. And I want your opinion on his press conference where he said, we finished 17th, so that's my get out of jail card, effectively. Dan was literally fit to be tied. I wonder what your thoughts
are. Okay, before we go on that, right? Context catch up, big up. Are we winning? Of course we're winning, right? I'm a deluded Spurs fan, right? And the guy says I was at FB Shots for a while when the game is on, right? And of course, guy says no colors, right? Right? Stick and ale, right? Football, eating. I remember Leicester game, right? I came back 5 minutes and 2 goals. Yeah, I remember. Right? Frank, right? The guy says Frank is gaslighting prick, right? And I'm on Dan's side. Now, to tell the truth, right? That shows that I don't know. I've been saying all this while, right? Somehow or another, he's coming to Spurs with a defeatist kind of mentality, and that is not good for me. Like I said, ever since what Enix has taken over, and when Levy came up with we got a Tottenham back, I haven't had much confidence in any manager that you bring in. Number one, I understand that a lot of Spurs fans want him out. I understand a lot of Spurs fans want to keep him. But the thing is that I've always been asking this. All the Spurs fans who wanted to keep Frank, right? Why didn't you go and support Conte? Yes, Conte was one of the elite. And we keep comparing, right? And Frank keeps saying that we were 17 last season. We don't deserve to be in the Champions League, right? My answer to him is, bro, you are not a Champions League manager. That's why you're having such a hard time. That is my feelings. You should not say things like that. You are in the Champions League. You must do what you have. Don't go and say you were 17 last season, right? Last season was last season. Why didn't you say last season we won a trophy? Yes, it took us to win the trophy, and a lot of Spurs fans don't understand this. The last 8 to 10 games, right? Ange gave the league up because we really calculated we can't get relegated. He put all his eggs into one basket, and he won us a cup. Right?
Absolutely.
Winning the cup. Yes, sir. So, like they say, he has to have some respect on his name for that. But what Frank has been chosen is that a lot of Spurs fans says that we won a cup. We want to go to the next level. Is Frank going to bring us to the next level? That is the question. No. All the football that I'm watching, I'm saying no, right? And half of the fan base is saying no. The other half is saying because of PTSD, managerial PTSD, right? They are sticking on to it. I don't blame them. That's their opinion. They have their choice. But what I've been saying is that why didn't we stick with Ange, give him the first 10 games? If he fucks up, we sack him. The fan base unites. But that's what Levy does. Levy wants a divided fan base. That's why he's been able to be in control for so long. But now Levy's gone. Enoch has come in. I'm sitting here, right? I'm giving Enoch 1 week, the first week of January. If we don't make any big moves or proper moves in the first week of January, that means we've gone back to square one. We're not getting the Spurs that I want, the Spurs that is going to challenge for the league, right? And start building now with Frank or without Frank. You know what I'm saying? To me, the manager doesn't care. It's the club that needs to show the ambition. And the worst part is, right, and of course, Amani, no offense, I'm a Spurs fan. When Levy brought in Vinay, I was going, what the fuck is wrong with you? Right? He's a fucking gooner. Why? Right? And now, right, there's news that Paratici wants to leave, right? Maybe because he's not given the freedom of trying to build a squad that's, going to challenge for a title. I do not know. We are fans, right? We don't make decisions for the club. We only can see from far and give our opinion, right? And you know what's worse? You think, right? All right. Everman says the second half's kicked off, right?
Yeah,
Manny,
it's about to kick off right now, right?
Manny, you would think, right? During Ange rule, the fans were divided. It's even more divided now.
Of
Think about
course,
it.
of course, of
But
course. And,
but
let me
I come
say,
to but wait.
go,
I come
go.
to the conclusion, right? I come to the conclusion is very simple. We are Spurs fans, right? We are always divided. It's part of our DNA. All right, guys.
Oh yeah,
Kick off.
yeah. I think
Right.
it's fair to say that when it comes to Keith Birkinshaw, who also won that European trophy long before Ange did, there were a lot of fans who were also divided on him. And obviously the nature of the issues back then was so polarizing in many ways. And I think it's also fair to say that a lot of the reasons why people are so eager to trust the process with Arteta is because they still have some PTSD over the end of Arsene Wenger's reign, and also how Unai Emery ended up, getting fired after a pretty poor blip.
All right.
And
We
it's
get
just,
the point, right? Yeah. No, the thing is that, right? If you, I tell you, right, Manny, I got this. I don't know, like, because it's already past, right? If you had given £1 billion to Unai Emery, right, and given him 6 years, right, you would have won the league long time ago.
of
You know what I'm
course,
saying?
no doubt about it.
Right. Right.
No doubt about it.
Right. So the way you see how Emery has brought Aston Villa to this juncture, but of course, I think what the Villa owners have done is that they've trusted their manager and given him what he needs. You see.
Yeah.
So now it's the limit comes in now. It's January. Will our owners give Craig the confidence and the trust? But the problem is that the performances don't show it. That's the sad part, right? All right, Poro's got a free kick, an edge of the penalty area, and I don't think there's a goal. There's a goal.
Yeah, nothing over there. I mean, obviously, either man's going to act as a spoiler, so I don't need to.
Yeah.
And there's also another debate on Twitter as well that obviously, a lot of people are trying to stick the boot in right now, saying that, Spurs' days of empire, being a part of the Big Six, are now gone, and Aston Villa have taken over. But then, you spoke a lot about, and I remember that wonderful interview you did with Craig from Up the Cherries in All Departments about how you absolutely loved Poch and how he was building something wonderful. That fatal mistake where he started Harry Kane instead of the informed Lucas Moura, I think that cost you a trophy. But in essence, there are some Spurs fans who will say, so what? Poch didn't win anything. But in the 5 full seasons he had, he also, transformed the team to being serious challengers for the big honours, Premiership and Champions League. So you could get over the line.
No, the thing with Poch is, right, I don't blame him for anything, right? But he has not won us anything. And to tell you, he has not won anything major. Yes, he won the League 1 with PSG, right? And bro, if you don't win the League 1 with PSG, right, it's like telling, right, Vincent Kompany don't win the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? So for me, is that, and here comes dangerous. Okay, Palace are looking a bit dangerous now. No. For me, Poch, right, if we had continued with him and Levy has trusted him to let him rebuild the team, restructure everything, right, then maybe we would have gotten somewhere. But the problem is that we do understand is the part of his legacy is that he didn't have any transfers for 3 windows. And this is showing in this Spurs team now. Yes, we have regressed. But the thing is that even if we regress, right, the quality of players we've gotten, right, is still not as bad as a lot of us think. Yes, we do have some quality players, but of course we do have some shit players. And the worst part is that somehow or another we have a lot of players with bozo moments. Yes, and it happens too often. Right? But we get the ball back. Now the ball can't go over the top. Right. So as I can say, right, I don't know. For me, we just have to put in the performance. And to tell the truth, it's not the performance of how you call free-flowing, attacking style football, gung-ho football, and all that. I want to see us put a performance where we are showing intent, we are showing ambition, we are putting heart, we are putting in tackles. You see, not performances like the game against you guys, the game against Chelsea. Right? And of course, the game against Nottingham Forest. It's like that we just fell asleep. Right? We were sleepwalking through the games. And that's the worst part is that, right? When a group of players turn up when they want to and don't turn up when they don't want to, right? That reflects so much on the manager. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
That's all I could say, right? But now,
and one thing which I'll also say is that, I remember watching the highlights of the Palace and Spurs fixture from, I think it was 2023-24 when Ange had his first season. One thing I will say about Ange ball, when it was good, it was really, really good. The only problem is when it was bad at times, it was just, not really as good as you'd want it to be.
But the problem is that, right, last season it was bad, real bad, 22 times. But a lot of Spurs fans don't want to take in consideration, right, the last 8 to 10 games, right, he practically threw the games away.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So the thing is that if we weren't in the going for the Europa League Cup, right, most probably we wouldn't have been 17. You get what I'm saying? Most probably we would be something like, I think, 10 or 12. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because with all the injuries we're having. But, all right, Mwani gets through. Eva, do we get a goal from here? Get a counter. Can we get through? Yeah, Spence puts the ball in. And we get a corner from this.
Spence is limping from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, we get a corner from this. Now, so we've come to this juncture. We are 18 games into the Premier League, right? And if the manager comes up with press conferences that he had last week, right, he is gaslighting and deflecting. You get it, right? And for me, the red flags were very early there because the Super Cup, we were up 2-0. The last 5 minutes, we conceded 2 goals, right? Any manager who is a winning manager would have been able to ride out that storm, and he didn't. So
exactly.
And now we're stuck here. But we're up 1-0. Another corner coming in. Can Poro get his in now? No, the ball is deflected out. But at least now in this second half, right, it seems that we're having more control of the ball. And Crystal Palace is not going so gung-ho at us at the moment, right? Even though they're 1-0 down, right? The tempo of the game has slowed down a lot.
It has. And I think one of the biggest keys to sort of playing a counter-attacking style is to always, keep your composure. You saw the Chelsea-Villa game. Villa were never allowed to get into a rhythm. But in the second half, they started to improve. They still had to, deal with a few attacks with, John McGinn making a brilliant last-ditch clearance to deny Garnacho, and then Martinez making that brilliant save to deny Reece James, among others. And then, close to the hour, Unai dropped the bomb, and it changed the complexion completely. And, maybe I was thinking that it was part of Emery's plan to sort of a rope-a-dope strategy. Let Chelsea have all of the possession, all of the attacks, tire them out a bit, because even Caicedo would get tired. And then once they start to tire, you then bring on your big guns and then just start playing and then wear them down even more. And that's how Aston Villa won. I think Glasner might probably have told his players at half-time to, just don't try and let up and make sure that you just try and keep that little intensity but maintain your concentration. They already had to replace one of their players. I think Jefferson Lerma came on in the middle of the half. Okay. So how Spurs will play will probably be to make sure that they just do what they did in the first half, avoid any defensive mistakes, and make sure that they, don't allow themselves to get intimidated while they're on the ball. And it has slowed a little bit. You're absolutely right, but
Manny,
won't be long before flash points.
If you not notice, Tottenham Hotspur has got a lot of bozo moments, right? And especially the bozo moments all come after the 60th minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my fear point, right? But if we are able to maintain this kind of scenario and maintain this kind of pressure and maintain this kind of formation, right, and scupper them, I'll be very happy. But the problem is that we don't create anything. That's the sad part. And we give the ball away. Look at that. We keep giving the ball away again. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it definitely doesn't help, when your best creative players are either injured or not really starting, I think. In fact, I want to check the starting lineup again and see who you've got. Just confirm.
No, the starting lineup is the bottom. It's scrolling through. You know, no, the thing is that Xavi is out for 3 games. Romero is out for 3 games because of the Liverpool game, right? What we have now, right? we have a very young midfield in Bergwall and Gray. All right. And then we've got Bentancur there holding it up. Okay. Our back four is just the change of Danso for Romero. Right. And then, of course, we got Kudos, Moani, and Richarlison. You see? So we can either be a 4-2-3-1 or. Oh. Is it offside? Yeah. Aston Villa looking dangerous now.
Shot it over the bar. Devaney, number 55.
Yeah.
This Devaney is definitely a bright young talent. Whatever happens at Crystal Palace, they've got to try and keep him. Otherwise, they could be sunk.
So another under glass now. You know, come on. Palace has lost Eze. Palace has lost Olise. Right? And I think Glasney's been doing quite a good job at the moment. All right. Is there a free kick? Wani don't get a free kick. Somehow another. And the worst part is I don't even want to talk about VAR nowadays. All right, guys. Palace will control the game. As usual, possession is in Palace side. Of course, we are 1-0 up, right? The onus is on them to try to get the equalizer, right? Whether we can break on a counter, create something on that sort, let's see how it goes, right? And you see, we defend with 11 men back. We don't even have Richarlison hanging around in the center circle. Yes or not? Right?
Yeah.
And the ball goes out of play.
I mean, that's what you're getting with Thomas Frank. At times, it's just pragmatism in excelsis. And that's another reason why I was never, ever convinced with the decision to hire him. And I'm always going to say to myself and a lot of people, nah, he's just another Graham Potter. Meant to do really good jobs at smaller clubs and sell, his players for big profits to bigger clubs and have his own club punching above its weight. But when it comes to managing a bigger club, I think the job's a little bit too big for him.
Yeah, I know. That's why I say he comes in with a defeatist attitude, right? Losing the Super Cup in penalties. Then after that, coming on a statement is that, we're going to have 10 good games. Then after that, we're going to have, it's the handball. The ball didn't go out. It hits the line. No wonder we get that's a weird.
Yeah.
I know.
So instead of the corner, you get a free kick taken by Vicario. Yeah. Former Arsenal striker Eddie Nketiah coming on.
Right.
He was absolutely dreadful when he came back to the Emirates. And
Nketiah coming on.
Yeah, Eddie Nketiah. So your defense will not be in trouble with Eddie Nketiah in the room. Take it from me.
We are Dr. Tottenham, bro. I fear everything. Right? Unless we get 2 more goals, then I won't care. Right? All right, ball over the top.
Are you sure not even one would be enough for you?
Nah. I keep saying we got bozo moments again, I'm saying.
Say la vie. Such is life.
Okay, handball. Is it handball? It deflects off him for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's a goal kick. It came off that Nketiah last.
And I think he's on side.
And I'm just wondering, Vicario hasn't really covered himself in much glory in recent times, and yet doesn't Frank seem to trust Kinski enough?
I don't think Frank trusts any youngsters. That's the problem. Vicario is Vicario, right? That's why I say, just as long as Vicario doesn't have any bozo moments, we will be okay, right? So at the moment now is, right, we're looking like we'll be more counter-attacking. Yeah, Kudos controls the ball, goes back to Bergwall. Bergwall will go all the way back to Vicario. You see, he can't even kick the ball. Vicario is really bad with his feet. Again, saying
yes.
So in this modern day football kind of scenario, especially in the Premier League, right, you need a ball playing goalkeeper. You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't even have to be a ball-playing goalkeeper. At least make sure you know how to kick a ball properly.
Bergval's gone down.
Yeah.
Hold on. Bergval's gone down. And he's holding
Yeah,
his
and
ball.
obviously, when I started watching football, which is, of course, some time after you did, goalkeepers back in the day knew how to take a proper goal kick. It wasn't a question of, having these short passes. Spurval, yeah. It wasn't a question of trying to have some short passes or trying to take these quick kicks and find a person or land it on a sixpence. No, just proper goal kicks. And your goalkeepers back then were pretty big units. You'll remember Pat Jennings, among others, Tony Parks, Ray Clements, Eric Torstvedt, of course. I like Torstvedt quite a lot. And obviously, in my case, Jennings played for Arsenal too, but then we had Bob Wilson and David Seaman. I don't like this modern trend of, expecting goalkeepers to be auxiliary defenders. For me, as long as, you are of a really good imposing height and can take a powerful kick, that's enough for me.
No, Manny, you can't say it in that sense. It's because football has evolved. You get what I'm saying? And especially in the Premier League, right? You need a ball-playing kind of goalkeeper. If not, right, that's where you will lack certain qualities that you need. You get what I'm saying? It is what it is. You get what I'm saying? Of course, I used to remember, bro, in the 80s and the 90s, right? Goalkeepers didn't even take goal kicks, remember?
Oh, yeah, there were some who didn't. That's right.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So, why am I having a look at Vinay now? And Paratici is here. So, would that quell the rumors that Paratici is leaving?
Patriarchy.
Yeah, Paratici and they're having a chat now. Right?
Patrici, yeah.
Right. Now, what I'm saying is like, we've reached a stage in football where a lot of things has evolved, right? There's so many tackles and fouls, right? In the 90s and the 2000s, right? Early 2000s, right? It wouldn't be considered a foul. You guys know?
Yeah, I'm aware that football has evolved, and here's the thing. I mean, I'm also a believer that if you have the old school skills which were required, back in the day, you also have the ability to evolve and make sure that you know what you're doing. It looks like there are a couple of substitutions. Odabe and Palinha coming on. And I think it's Bergval
and Wani's coming off.
Yeah, Moani, that's right.
Money, it's so simple, right? I remember last time football is very simple, right? Take away the tactics, take away everything, put three players who can just dribble everybody out of the park. Right? Those three players, right, will be your attacking force, right?
Yeah, and but obviously, listen, with a Tottenham connection, albeit speaking from an Arsenal paradigm, one of the reasons why our fan base go completely crazy over David Raya is because, he's not a very tall fella for a goalkeeper, but he does make some very good saves. Certainly that save against Brighton was very athletic, but calling it the save of the season is absolutely harsh. I mean, it was at a decent height for him. If he had enough, athleticism, he'd stick out his hand and tip it over. Any goalkeeper worth his salt would back himself to save that shot, but it was still a good save. Not as good as that. But twice when we've played you, once in pre-season and once all too recently at the Emirates, this fella who prides himself on being a part of the system, an auxiliary defender, and being a part of the whole playing from the back thing, he has this idiotic tendency to go so far out of his goal that if and when, a player gets intercepted by an opponent and, an attempt is made to sort of chip him from about 35 or 40 yards or even longer, he ends up, just looking like an absolute idiot. It was Pape Sarr in pre-season after Miles Lewis-Skelly got intercepted. And recently, after, Martin Zubimendi was, mugged off, Richarlison ended up loving him and made Ryan look like an idiot. So, this particular talk about, it's fine to say that football has evolved and, you've got to be a little bit more, dynamic in your play as a goalkeeper. And I wouldn't say otherwise, but you also sometimes have to have the positional sense and the intelligence to know when to come out of your box and when to go bloody back in there. And because he goes so far out, he leaves himself prone to all of this stuff. And there are some Gormless fans who say, no, that's perfectly fine. It's part of the package. It's part of the system. You have to take the rough with the smooth. No, I'm sorry. I can't take the rough with the smooth because on those sort of stupid mistakes, bozo moments, as you would say, a lot of games can be won or lost. It was just as well that we scored that hat trick and we beat you 4-1. But still, that just goes to show that for me, David Raya is not the benchmark of what an ideal goalkeeper should be like. And I'll always consider Emi Martinez to be better because he has the old school skills, 6'5", excellent at one-on-one situations, great shot stopper, dominant in the air, unless he gets, stifled from corners. And his kicking has also improved in that he knows how to find a person from beyond, and he also can play from the back. But you won't see him make any stupid advances from his area. So it's fine to say that football has evolved, but there's always going to be a place for the old school skills. It depends on how you use them and in what context, I would say.
Yeah, of course, it depends on what kind of style your manager plays, right? But guys, Crystal Palace is throwing the kitchen sink at us at the moment. That's all I gotta say. And Spurs gets a throw, right? I don't know, maybe we'll hang on to the 1-0 lead, right? Because we don't create chances, bro. I don't think we create many chances in this half either, right?
Yeah, listen, don't forget what happened in the Europa League final. After Brendan Johnson scored that goal, you literally sit back, shut up shop. You let United try to puff and puff, but they couldn't blow your house down. And of course, Mickey van der Ven with that goal line clearance. Oh, Mickey, that was fine. That was fine. It blew my mind.
That's true. That's true. All right, let's see what Palace can do now, right? Possession is 60-40, right? Spurs has only got 3 attempts, right? My God. And then Palace has got 11 attempts, right? All right. And Ketia turns well. But Ketia loses the ball. Richarlison gets the ball back. And
the thing about it,
we're inviting all these bozo moments again, I'm saying that.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing about Eddie Nketiah is that he also could be classified as a Spursy type player. When he wants to, he can do some good things, but more often than not, he's just, not really at that level. He's either a little bit lazy or, just not of the level. I think we can tell you that he's probably both. He had his chance when he came back to the Emirates, but he didn't take it. And one of my friends, Kenny Ken, who doesn't have a YouTube channel of his own, but is very popular in the on the podcast circuit. Shout out to Kenny Ken 1972 on Instagram. He said in one of his commentaries that despite being given a chance at Crystal Palace, he hasn't really done enough to consistently impress Oliver Glasner, and that's why Glasner doesn't really trust him as much as he would trust someone like a Mateta or even Ismail Assar or anyone else really. So, and now Nketiah isn't even wanted by the Ghanaian national team, so go figure.
He's wanted or unwanted?
Unwanted.
Okay. And Ghanaian, Kudos from Ghana, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Kudos is from Ghana. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's not in AFCON, because Ghana didn't qualify for the AFCON. All right, guys, we're moving into the 68th minute now. Spurs are still holding on to the 1-0 lead, right? And Palace is going to have a long throw-in now, right? Long throw-in for Palace. All right, let's see what happens here. If Palace scores a goal, Eva Man will let me know. If Spurs scores a goal, Eva Man will let me know. Right? The ball is long thrown in, headed back out. Headed back out again.
Do you have any players on AFCON duty at the moment?
Yeah, Sa.
Oh, yeah, Papa Sa with Senegal. Yeah. That's right.
Senegal. I think that's one. That's the only one, right? Yeah. And of course, you will talk about Bissouma, but Bissouma is injured. Right.
We all know the story. I think, he's persona non grata right now under Frank. And more's the pity because, he also played his part in that Europa League triumph. I think Ange's sacking probably hit him mentally and emotionally. What can you do? So
Mateta and Spence are having what?
Yeah.
While the referee
that was Lacroix, the cross.
Oh. No,
The cross with the header, just
goes
like
back in, cross him, and it's headed out by Denso. Headed back in. Oh, it's headed out by it's headed out, right? No, look
yeah.
what heads it out. No, this thing's looking. Palace are looking dangerous, but the problem is that now they're. I don't know. Maybe we will survive this because they are not clinical enough.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, they've got Nketiah and Mateta on right now as strikers, but Nketiah obviously can't hit a barn door, and I think Mateta's almost tired.
Yeah. All right, guys. That was a close call. Right. Somehow another Spurs needs to get control of the ball. We haven't even a touch of the ball in the opposition half, bro. Come on.
I think it's fair to say that Palhinha coming on means that you might have a little bit more solidity in the midfield, but then it begs the question why Frank didn't choose to start him in the first place. I mean, he and Bentancur together, or he and Gray, would at least have done, would have at least given you a little bit of extra dimension.
Okay, great. Couldn't control the ball. No, and this whole second half, right? We have not even gotten the ball in their half for more than 5 minutes.
Shades of Bilbao.
And when we defend, right? We defend with 11, and there's no outlet. You get what I'm saying? Now?
Like I said, shades of Bilbao. Shades of Bilbao.
Yeah.
And you can see
Bilbao
Bilbao getting really, really, really angry at the moment.
I know. And with Bilbao is that we knew Manchester United was shit. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say they were crap. I mean, they did have a few moments. Ahmad very nearly scored in that game, I remember.
Yeah, Bilbao final was good, bro. The Mamak store was full of Spurs fans, and we won. My God, it was pandemonium. Yeah. All right, Palace, you're having another long throw in now.
That is decisive.
By first player. Ball set it out.
Rose up, commanded himself well, and
hit it in, hit it out. It's going all the way. Vicario catches it. All right. Luckily, Vicario's strong here.
And that's the thing with Vicario. I mean, he's a decent keeper, but he's just not built for the Premier League, in my opinion. I mean, he and Donnarumma are literally chalk and cheese.
Yeah, I know. But you can't compare Vicario with Donnarumma, bro. Donnarumma is in a totally different level.
I'm aware of that, but what I'm talking about is the physicality. Donnarumma is this really big unit.
Play, bro. All right, great. And Guy saying he's having a heart attack, right? And Guy says
no more psychedelic advice for you, mate.
All right, we're getting control of the ball. Shoot! Oh, straight at the goalkeeper. Good try by Odober. At least we get our first shot on goal in the second half, bro. The 8-second rule, bro. You concede a free kick. All right, we're getting the ball in their half for a while, and the ball goes back up. And the ball is back in our half again.
Yeah. No, as I was saying, Donnarumma being here, I mean, the Premier League is a league where he really should have looked to try and come and play. And I think, he's had some difficult moments, but he's settled in well. Huh?
Isn't Donnarumma injured at the moment?
No, he played yesterday against Nottingham Forest.
Oh, he played yesterday, all right. I thought he was injured.
And, I mean, if the injury is serious, then I think they'll probably have to start Trafford against Chelsea. I think that. No. They've got Chelsea. Got Bournemouth next. I think. I don't know who City are playing next.
Right, but next Tuesday, right? You guys are playing Aston Villa at home, right? That will be the test, right?
Oh yeah. I'm not confident about that, Eugene. We've got a patched-up defence with injuries to both our starting fullbacks. We played Declan Rice at right back, who did okay, but You're going to like this. Keep
I know.
watching.
I know.
Either, man.
Yeah. The ball
Spoilers
goes over
do
the top.
dream.
Right. Right. Gray goes out to Kudos. Kudos wins for yes. Richarlison can score goals like that. Right? And we get 2-0. Big up Eva. We're up 2-0. Now I feel more relaxed, more comfortable. All right. Richie scores. All right. Poise. Yes.
Aren't you glad I came on?
Yep. Yep. The Arsenal good luck charm for Spurs.
And hopefully, Guy, if you're listening to this, oh, wait a minute. We're going to see if there might be a check here for an offside, maybe.
All right. VAR again, Eva. Is there a VAR again? VAR again. Kudos gets it. Richie's offside. But he's offside.
Oh, man.
He's offside, bro. Yeah, it's offside.
It's a pain in the backside, isn't it?
Yeah, but it is what it is. But wait, is the ball in line with him? Wait. If the ball is in line with him, right, he's onside.
Yeah, they're checking it just to confirm it, I think. We'll see what happens. Let's use the lines for Pete's sake.
Why don't they use the semi-automated offside thing, right? If it's offside, it's offside. No go again. It's no go again. Eva says. All right.
Lightning does strike twice in the same place. Selhurst Park and the same guilty party. Richie.
Nah, Richie's feelings for his offside. It's offside. Nah, it's okay,
Yeah,
guys. Stay cool.
Trying to feign innocence.
Yeah, he's offside. He's offside.
Right. So, going back to your question about Aston Villa, I'm not confident because, as I said, we had a patched-up defence against Brighton. We played Declan Rice at right back. I think it was Miles Lewis-Skelly who was at left back. Or it could also have been, Hinchapi who was switching, basically. But, one thing which could help is that Villa do have Matthew Cash and Boubacar Kamara suspended, but 2 years ago when they came to the Emirates, they didn't have Matthew Cash. I mean, he was on the subs bench but didn't come on. And Kamara also wasn't available. They also didn't have Douglas Luiz, their midfield genius. And they still put a beating on us. Watkins and Tielemans hit the post. And then it was Leon Bailey and Watkins who scored both goals in the last 6 or so minutes to sink us. And in between, whenever we tried to attack them, their defence stood firm. Martinez had 1 or 2 fine saves, kept a clean sheet. And now we've got a patched-up defence with Declan Rice at right back. Declan Rice, of all people, at right back. We did well against Brighton for the most part because Brighton, I think, they were just so open. But, the way Aston Villa is set up, and I think Emery's going to make a lot of changes to the team that starts against Chelsea. Basically, those players who came on as substitutes will be starting. And that team's just going to look very, very powerful. The only issue is that without Matthew Cash and Kamara, could very well be that they will have to start Lamade Bokarde in the double midfield pivot, and maybe play Andreas Garcia at right back, or they can switch Bokarde to right back, bring Tielemans back into the double pivot, Rodgers in the 10, and maybe start with McGinn and Sancho. So it's not like Emery doesn't have options. But I'm not confident. I mean, the best I can hope for is a 2-2 draw, the same as last year's results. But Emery has never lost at the Emirates against us. And a lot of people say he's like this bitter ex. You basically, muck him over and say, I don't love you anymore, I don't need you anymore in my life. And he comes back and says, I'm going to show you, you bunch of bastards. And more often than not, he does.
Yeah, I know. But I know, that's what I'm saying. Right? It's going to be a big game Tuesday. Right? Let's see how that goes. And who are we playing on Thursday? I can't even remember who we're playing on Thursday. Is it Brentford or something like that? Right? That's the weird thing.
Tommy Frank going back to his old stomping ground. That should be
Yeah,
fun.
that's true. That's true. But I'm not sure. I need to check. But all right, the game. After that goal that was disallowed, Palace has got back control of the game again. But now they are making a lot of mistakes. And here comes Poro. Kudos to Poro. And I've noticed one thing, right? Ever since Frank has come in, right? Poro's crosses has turned into shit.
Whose crosses?
Poro.
Pedro Poro. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. We are into the last 10 minutes for me. All right. Dragozin looks like he's coming on. Woohoo! We are going to hang on to the 1-0. All right, ball kicks out.
I don't know. From what I've seen of Dragonson last season, especially, he can be a weakling.
He creates a foul.
And I remember, of course, in your first Europa League game against Karabakh, that disaster, that stupid sending off, Andrews fit to be tied, and that poor fella Bergvall had to be brought off. So hopefully Dragonson will have learned his lesson and will now be playing a little bit more maturely, but we'll see.
He's offside. Richarlison can't run and shoot properly. But I think he was offside again.
And no sign of Brenda, as you call him. Will you be offloading him in January?
I think Brenda should be offloaded in January if he wants to play more games, right? Because Wales has qualified for the World Cup. He needs the game time. Oh no, Wales has they're going for the qualifications in the World Cup, or they qualify for the World Cup? They're going for the
They're going for qualification. I think they have to play, the playoffs. England and Scotland are already through. Yeah. So it's Wales, Northern Ireland, and the Republic of Ireland who are in the playoffs. Right. But because of the draw, at least one of the British Isles teams will miss out.
Yep. I know. But that's it. Brenda needs game time, right? It's the World Cup year. So let's see how that goes, right?
There is some talk about him possibly going to Aston Villa as someone who can provide cover on the wing.
Who?
Or someone who can also be used as a false nine. But then Ollie Watkins is not back in form, so I don't know what they'll do. And they've also got...
Brenda is going to Aston Villa?
There's some talk about that. And another problem that Villa has is that they've got the dead weight.
All right.
He could
get the ball back. Ball over the top.
Villa also have the dead weight of Harvey Elliott hanging over their heads. 10 games and an obligation to buy for 35 million.
Isn't Harvey Elliott the Liverpool player?
Yes, but he was offered to Villa this season on loan with a condition. Play him in 10 games, you got to buy him for 35 million quid. And basically, Emery has said, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to play him. And more's the pity because that youngster is very talented. He came through at Fulham, obviously, has achieved great things at Liverpool, and it's really tragic. I mean, I don't know why Slot doesn't like him.
Slot has got his own problems at the moment.
I mean, if I were on his Slot, I'd get Harvey Elliott back.
To be honest, right? To be honest, right? I hardly ever watch Liverpool play, right? Apart from the game against us and then yesterday's game against Wolves, right? They don't look too impressive at the moment.
As I told you, yeah, they don't. They don't. I said it before coming on. They don't look impressive. Even without Mohamed Salah, they don't look impressive.
I was saying this, right?
If I was Slot, I'd offer Elliott the olive branch and try and get him, allow him to come back in because, they basically tried to muck Aston Villa over, but Emery has said, no, I'm not going to accept that. It's sad, really, because Elliott is a real...
Oh. Yellow card. Lerma gets a yellow card.
Yeah, it looks as though Brenda is coming on, along with Dragonson.
All right. That means it's not fully defensive. That means Brenda will come on for kudos on the right.
And who's Dragusin coming on for?
I don't know. Bentancur? He's going to go 3 at the back.
It looks like Archie Gray's coming off.
If Archie Gray comes off, is he going 3 at the back? Yep, Archie Gray is coming off.
Well, he's had his day in the sun. Eddie Gray's son. And it is Dragusin and Johnson who've come off.
What formation are we going to play now?
Kudus has come off too.
What?
So it's Johnson for Kudus and Dragusin for Archie Gray. And as I speak, Spurs have a free kick.
And we got a corner at the moment. Johnson again, ole ole. Johnson again. Oh, the Spurs fans are singing Johnson again, ole ole.
I think, for what it's worth, Johnson will always be his. Yeah, for what it's worth, Johnson will always be a Spurs legend, winning goal in that European final. But
was it actually an own goal?
No, I think it was credited to Johnson in the end.
I know, but did you see the replays, right?
I did. I did. I think Johnson did get a touch on that. I'm not going to take this moment away from him. No chance.
I know.
I mean,
I don't say take away moment for him, but I mean, actually, factually, right? It bounced off who? Was it Fernandez or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
I know. But it is what it is, right? He will be a legend, but I'll still call him Brenda, right? Brenda. We are playing 3 at the back now, guys.
Ah, yes. Conte settings. 3 at the back.
We're playing 3 at the back now. That's the first time we've seen him play 3 at the back. Maybe he's testing it this time. Because now we our defenders coming back, right? And Mani, Takai is on the bench too.
Who's on the bench?
Takai, the Japanese, the young Japanese defender.
Oh yeah. Ooh, wow.
All right. Did we give the
keep
ball
watching,
away?
Keep watching. I like this. Right. Yeah, you've actually got Brentford on New Year's Day. So that's the Tommy Frank derby.
Oh, Odobe hits the post.
That could have sealed it right then and there.
Yeah, I know.
So this is actually counter-attacking football in Excelsis. Palace has had more of the possession, but you've had the better chances. I don't think Vicario has had a very serious save to make all game.
No, Manny, I think what you're saying is correct. You can see it in the Palace players, right? They are dropping off. Yeah.
So it could very well be that in addition to being defensive, he's trying to add a little bit more width. So I think if Spence and Porro are still on the field, he's going to try and use them to sort of
it's
really
a 3-5-2
run around.
at the moment. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's
on
a 3-5-2 kind of scenario.
It could be. And
at the moment, we are looking more dangerous.
Exactly.
Brenda! And Crystal Palace just giving the ball away now. And we are pressing. And why can't we play like this all the time? You understand what I'm saying, Manny?
Oh, yeah.
This is so weird.
But hey,
if it
was simple, you would do it all.
Manny, it's like we were like having a lip dig, right, for most of the game. And then all of a sudden,
This might be interesting.
I know, a long throw.
Palace long throw. We'll see what they do from here.
All right, guys, we're moving in the 90th minute. I think it'll be at least 5 minutes at a time, right? 5 minutes at a time. That's what my prediction.
Punt forward, Henderson
Okay.
into the penalty area. Some head tennis, and now Vicario's claiming it. You see, Guillermo? It's that simple. Get your bearings right. Jump up and catch it. Be confident.
My God, Eva. No.
Squeaky bum time.
Yeah. Squeaky bum time. But at least in this squeaky bum time, right, we look more dangerous. Look at that. Brandon Johnson, shoot! Why doesn't he shoot? All right, 7 minutes.
And Manchester City are going to play Sunderland, going to the Stadium of Light. I think they will probably be the first team to beat Sunderland on their home turf.
No, that's what it looks like, right? But you never know. Because the game, right, I can tell you, right, the scenario could be like this. You guys draw with, because you guys are playing first, right, on Tuesday, right?
No, there are 6 games on Tuesday.
So you're playing at the same time.
Yeah, so the first 4 games are kicking off at 7:30 UK time, which is midnight where I am. And the other 2 games are Arsenal against Villa and United against Wolves. They're kicking off at 8:15, which is no, not midnight, 1 o'clock my time, and the other 2 games are kicking off at 1:45 my time. So yeah, those 2 obviously are going to be
playing then.
Yeah, it's Burnley and against Newcastle, Chelsea against Bournemouth, Forest against Everton, and West Ham against Brighton, and those are going to be kicking off at 7:30 UK, 1 a.m. India.
That means you guys play first, right?
Yeah, 3:30 a.m. in Malaysia, and at 1:45 my time, 4:15 in the morning your time, it's Arsenal, Villa, and Manchester United against Wolves.
Look at Guy. Oh my God, yes, Guy. 7 minutes. Yeah.
And then, and you lot will be playing at 8 p.m. UK time,
Thursday.
3 a.m. Not 4 a.m. your time. So I don't know if you'd want to stay up that late to do a watch along. It wouldn't even be Ramadan then, mind you.
Yeah, let me see first, right? That's part of the scenario. Nowadays, I hardly ever do the late watch alongs because I don't want to waste my energy. All right.
Yep, you're not getting any younger. Neither am I, for that matter.
What? And the football ain't worth it, bro. You get what I'm saying? If the football was worth it, it'd be a different. No, the football ain't worth it. When we play, you get games like this. You get what I'm saying now?
I get what you're saying completely. And you know what? This is sacrilege in many ways, but I don't like watching Arsenal play these days. I love watching Aston Villa. It's the Emery, Martinez, Daniel Marlin connection. I like watching them. They provide value for your money. And it's just such a compelling, gripping stuff. With Arsenal, it can be turbulent at times.
Go to your Johnson is offside. Go to your left.
Yeah.
I know. I understand. Yes, but and Paulinho goes down.
He's fine. He's standing up and walking.
You see, this time, one thing is very clear. When you're up 1-2-0, right, you bring on Paulinho, and Paulinho is there to disrupt things. You get what I'm saying? Johnson again, ole ole. Johnson again, Johnson again, Johnson again, ole ole. All right, guys, we got another 3 more minutes of injury time, or maybe on top of injury time. 3 more minutes plus. Spurs are still 1-0, but I think Crystal Palace seems to have lost a bit of steam. right? And we look a bit more dangerous in this period of time, right? But Palace has got another long throw in, right? I'm not sure. Eva Man has got no signal, so I guess we're still okay, right? And Mani seems to be looking down his handphone. There must be something going on down there. Nothing
No, I'm
happens?
looking at my mobile phone. Not really watching much of the match. I think it's sort of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying on Twitter that said, I think Palace are done and Spurs could possibly find a way to win this, seal it now in the next few minutes.
Yeah. Odobe is quick. Odobe gets it. Hold on to the ball. Just hold on. Don't do anything stupid. Hold it on. Yes. Bring it to the corner. And we get a throw in. Now, do we bring on Denzel to do the long throw in?
We'll see what happens. One thing's for certain, this is probably going to be the last piece of action for the game. I think Palace has just given up the ghost.
All right, let's see how many people put up.
Yeah, they have.
No, that's the truth, right? A win is a win. But an ugly win, I will accept it, right? If you do all this ugly shit and you don't win, right? Then that's the problem. Just hang on to the ball. Don't do anything fantastic. Just keep possession of the ball. Use your brains. Yes, play it around, right? Hold it on for another 1 minute or so. Don't do anything stupid like that. Oh, the bear. Oh, the bear. Oh, there's nobody. Oh, Benny. Look at that. We are looking more. Why can't we play like this throughout the 90 minutes? All right. Nah, but it's very clear, right, Manny? Crystal Palace has lost its steam.
Yes. And tragically, I think it's fair to say that with regard to Glasner, he's taken them as far as he can possibly take them.
Yeah. No, Glasner was saying he need more players, right? But all right. Woo-hoo!
Yep. All done. All done.
Full time. Yay, Scotty. Yeah. Good thing I didn't join today, or you would have had a guest fast asleep on the screen. Nah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. We've fallen asleep on screen many times, Scotty, right? Remember the old Will Stewart days? Yeah. Right. Hope we're doing well. Merry Christmas. Guys, we've won. I don't know how to explain myself, how I feel now. I'm happy we won. I'm still questioning the football. How would you say this, right? Whether we deserved it or not, I think we did, right? Because Palace came at us gung-ho in the first 45 minutes. And then they burned out. Right? And we scored the goal, Archie Gray goal, right? The winning goal, right? Kudos to the boy, right? Maybe that will build his confidence. He can become better. That's what I want, right? Very honest. I think by the time in the last 20 minutes or so, I think Palace must have just lost a lot of gas, and and we look more dangerous, and we made the changes. We will look even more dangerous, but the problem is that we still need to score the goals, right? Right, and of course, guys saying, "Yo, yeah, points, right, yeah, the football, yeah, the awful football game, yeah, I know. That's why it's a bit boring." So, Manny, thanks for joining me for the last. Yeah, and of course, guys saying it was a knife-edge football. Yeah, this team, my heart is beating 180. Yeah, and what about all the beers that you drank? Right, that would have helped your heartbeat.
I hope you were not in Bilbao. You would have had an aneurysm, guy.
I don't think he went, right? Yeah, but yeah. But Manny, any thoughts on this game? Closing thoughts?
Listen, with regard to what you said about an ugly win, in your situation, you pretty much can take what you can get. And I'm not being, demeaning or patronizing. I'm just saying that after all the crap that's gone on in these past few days and weeks or so, you need whatever you can get. And this will probably give you some belief or some comfort. We'll have to find out. But there are going to be some tougher tests. What I will say is also that your next match will be a litmus test in a way, because Brentford are also going to want to prove that they've moved on adequately without Frank. And, they slapped up Bournemouth yesterday. So I think Frank's going to go back there with a few points to prove. And yes, I know you beat Brentford in the reverse fixture not too long ago, but Brentford are going to be determined to do whatever they can. And this January, for a lot of clubs, is going to be key. It's what players you purchase, what you decide you want for the remainder of the season, and that's going to shape how you go about things. So I think hopefully if things improve, you should get a top 10 finish, but Europe shouldn't be in your minds at all. We'll see how far you go in the Champions League, but I think you might have to put Europe and European aspirations on the back burner this season, at least until you get a good run going, and then we'll see where it goes from there. It might be a process, and it could very well be that the board might decide to copy what Arsenal are doing and stick with Frank for a little bit, weed out some players who aren't serving the purpose anymore, and letting Frank do things his way. But I don't personally see Frank as the long-term answer. We'll have to see what happens at the end of this season. But a win is a win today. Selhurst Park is not an easy place to go and play. And well done. Let's see how far you go from here. Let's see how far you kick on from this.
Yeah. Now, to be honest, right, this January transfer window, there's a lot of chances of getting quality players because it's a World Cup year. A lot of quality players who don't get enough game time, right, would want to leave their clubs. So it's whether you're smart enough to find them and bring them in and give them a chance to prove themselves, right? But as for Frank, all I can say is that I don't care, right? If the club doesn't show that kind of ambition, it doesn't matter what happens. Just as long as he doesn't freaking relegate us, I don't give two punts about it, right? It's the only thing that makes me sad is that, winning a trophy and not moving on to the next level, that makes me sad. So maybe there's going to be a proper reset. My question I've been asking everyone is that, do any of you Spurs fans believe that Frank is going to win us Premier League? If he's not, right, he's just another stepping stone. Maybe he'll be there for 1 year, 2 years, right? And then maybe Poch will come back, or we'll get a Glasner or whatever. It is what it is. At the moment now, I guess the big debate is that how are you going to, tolerate or accept, right, the performance that's being put out there. The last 15 to 20 minutes of the game, we look more threatening and more attacking. And why can't we play more percentage of that kind of style of football in the game instead of just sitting back, right, and get humped, right, and hope that people don't score? So let's hope he can change that, right? Maybe the players can't do it for him now, but slowly are getting into it and can't do it in a long period of time and consistent. But I don't see, I understand the point that if we sack him, or we're going to bring in, he'll go through another cycle again. But, if he can't show that quality, then it is what it is, right? Just as long as he doesn't bring us to a relegation battle, then it's okay. Because if he touches that relegation battle kind of scenario, right, our owners will sack him. Yes, we are used to that. Right? Because you're not in the cups, you got no chance of getting the Champions League. Last season, Ange hung on because he was able to grab that Champions League, and it was a plus for the club. You win a trophy and you get a Champions League.
Exactly, two birds with one stone.
Yeah, but the problem is that we didn't move up to the next level. Yes, sir. We stick with more or less the same football team, right? That was 17, right? Going to the Champions League, right? We were different level of football and not actually improving on the squad. So it is what it is. But I'm happy we won today. 3 points. We are 11th, right? And I think realistically this season, if Frank, right, let's say he does get some decent signings in the January transfer window, we should go up to about 8, 7, maybe fight for the edge of the Europe, the Europe part. If not, he doesn't get decent signings in the transfer windows, I think we should still be around, 9, 10, 11, 12, like that, depending on how the other teams do too. You get what I'm saying? Right? That's how I see it. Right? But Manny, thanks for being here. Right? I'll catch up with you later. I need to try to do more shows, right? But there's some plans going on for the Malaysian Spurs side. I'm going to most probably sit down with the president because I'm part of the exco, and we're just going to do a football chat on Spurs and all that. And most probably it'll be multilingual, because he's Malay, I'm Chinese, and we can speak Bahasa Malaysia. We can speak in English, right? Later, if I bring in other, Cantonese, Hakka, all kinds of languages will come out, right? Multilingual.
Hopefully Tamil as well. I mean, if there is some Tamil, I might possibly tune in, maybe.
Yeah. We'll never know. We never know, right? All right. Thanks for being here. And guys, right, big up to Guy, yeah, he's at the stadium. Scotty, yeah, big up Scott. Scotty's been having a very hard time in the, community, but I love Scott. Scott's been with me since day one. We've met on the Will Stewart show, and it's 5 years plus now, Manny. I think it's gonna be 5 years soon, right? Doing YouTube, right? And I met you, and that's true. Stephen, yeah, bless his heart, right? Eva Man, yeah, big up to Eva Man too, one of my long-term supporters. Right, who else do we have here? We're not mistaken, guy. Joe Blackman was here earlier, right? Yeah, Conte's catch-ups here. Right, Joe Blackman was here. Big up to you guys. Thanks for support. Right, who else do we have? Of course, Manny, yeah. Football. This is Rob. This is a Newcastle fan, right? He feels my pain. I feel his pain too, right? But the thing is that at least they won a trophy last season too, right? So that's a good thing, right? Thanks for being here, right? All you guys, thanks for support. Catch up with you next time. Next game, you guys are playing on Tuesday. We are playing on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
Yeah, you're on Thursday. We're on Tuesday, and as I said, I'm not confident about Tuesday, but I remember in 2001 we beat them 3-2 after going behind 2-0. Paul Merson coming back to Highbury scored for Villa, and Steve Stone did, but then we made changes. Sylvain Wiltord and Thierry Henry got our first, second, and third goals respectively, and from there we went on to win the title. Hopefully, this team we have couldn't hold a candle to that vintage or teams gone by. I'm not too confident. If we get a 2-2 draw, I'll be happy. We've won 11 straight home games. Villa have won 11 straight games in all competitions. One streak's going to end. We'll see whose it is.
Yeah, it's going to be a draw, most probably, right? So, as you were saying, right, Brentford against us, Brentford at home has been very strong. So, I don't know. I think maybe I just forecast a draw first to be safe. We won here, right? So, the 1-0 counts with 11, right? And over Scotty, right? Yep. Did I enjoy the game? No, I don't think I enjoyed the game too much, but I enjoyed the win, right? That's the most important thing. Spurs fans who great, well combo. Yeah, I know. There's going to be a lot of conversations there. All right, guys, take care. Good night, good morning, and of course, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world.